This is a podcast with my friend Erik. We talk about video games, including all the classics like Call of Duty, Hearthstone, Halo, and like 15 others. We compare the importance of graphics versus mechanics, as well as PC versus console, which, by the way, I get it's a heated debate, okay? So when I say things like console players are objectively and metaphysically worse than PC players, obviously I'm being ironic, okay? It's just banter, and me and Erik are just riffing because we're absolute fucking boys, so lighten up. If you grew up playing video games, I think you will enjoy this conversation. It is dripping with nostalgia. There's a ton of clips that will bring you back to the days before, impending civil war. And towards the end, we talk about things like video game addiction, its relationship to mental health, and other important stuff, like the controversy around that one mission in Modern Warfare 2. Yeah. So it's the real deal. And Erik is one of my best friends, and he ties this podcast up really nicely at the end. It's just great. By the time I post this, the podcast should be on Spotify, so look for that link in the description, as well as some other fun links. Strap in, everybody. This is fun.
I do think that the Nintendo Switch is the best console of all time.
Wow.
Easily.
Aside from PC. You know what, Erik? This is actually an important thing that we need to iron out. And we need to make sure that people who think otherwise, people who think differently from us, and in this subject only, are fucking wrong. And that is the PC versus console. I call it a debate, but it's more of a
petty.
Well, I would say more of an absolute just wipe, an absolute fucking sweep by PC against console. There is nothing that consoles do better, right? PC is objectively, metaphysically, the best gaming console, right?
Metaphysically, I agree.
Metaphysically speaking.
Ontologically, I agree.
Yeah, from a first principles perspective. But there's no reason, like, everyone who uses console is worse than people who play games on PC, right?
They just can't afford a good PC.
That's it. Hence
the only thing that console has on PC is that it's accessible. It's accessible.
Yeah, but how much is Xbox, or how much is the new Xbox? Isn't it like $600?
The new Xbox is $400.
How much is the new PS3?
$500. There's two models. There's a disc model and a digital model.
Bro, dude. I mean, you don't have to spend that much on a good decent PC. You can get a pre-built, PC that's not that much.
In 2014. I built a PC for $700, and it couldn't run basically anything. I mean, it could run Skyrim on like high, but it couldn't
on high graphics.
Which is fine. It's good,
reasonable.
Yeah, but then dude, a few years went by, and here's another thing, dude, is that. The PlayStation 3 came out in 2000. When did the PlayStation 4 come out? Dude, I remember buying my PlayStation 4. It was the first console I spent.
I got a PS3 for Christmas. And I think it was like 2008. Yeah, that was fucking 13 years ago, bro. Dude, there are people.
PlayStation 4. Dude, this is the thing. PlayStation 4. I still have my PlayStation 4. I still play shit on it. I just got Spider-Man.
Nice.
PlayStation 4 came out on November 15th of 2013. Okay.
So
and the thing is, dude, I built my PC in 2014, I said, right? And I can't run shit on it. It doesn't even fucking run.
What graphics
I tried
to
have a GTX 650 or something. It's some bullshit.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean, though?
Look.
I can't.
Yeah, and here's the thing. It's like people who play on console. They're young. They like their kid at heart. They never left. They never really matured into a real device. But look, that's okay. What was I gonna say though? You were 2008 PS3, dude. There are fucking kids that would be 13 now, who were born after the PS3.
Right.
And they probably fucking shit on us in COD and shit like that. You know how embarrassing that is?
Dude, I think the PlayStation 3 is the second best console.
I like the PlayStation controller
PSP?
better than the PSP. Yeah. No, sorry, I have.
Yeah, I love my PSP, man. November 11th, 2006. Sorry. November 17th, 2006 in North.
2006.
PlayStation 3.
2006.
Yeah. Christmas 2006, basically.
So there are 14
Dude, it was like that
year olds.
fat. It was that fatty with the fucking Spider-Man text on it. The Spider-Man font. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep. Yeah, I'm talking about like it's
Solo,
like,
yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, we had a PS3 that got the yellow light of death, and then we had to take it apart and solder it and get like put all the fucking chemical shit on it, whatever. And we put it back together. Didn't work. It took like 4 hours to try and fix it. And we're like, we're gonna buy a new one now. Holy fuck!
Sucks.
That's I don't think PCs break down nearly as much as fucking Xbox,
no, by no means.
Right? Red light of death and all that shit.
Well, the Xbox 360 was like a meme because like when they first rolled out, half of them got the red ring of death. Like, I don't know the average lifespan of one. But they were breaking way more than the PlayStation. Dude, I think the way that you feel about PC versus console is the way that I feel about PlayStation versus Xbox. I mean, in every respect, PlayStation has Xbox beat in the style of the console itself. The PlayStation 3 was
smooth, glossy finish. Oh yeah,
so perfectly stylized.
Yes,
and the XY grid menu. But fuck the PlayStation 4. Like, I honestly am so unhappy with it to this day. But like the PlayStation 3 with that the menu, dude.
Oh
like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude, just so pleasing, dude.
Yes.
And the games. And like
Xbox was so fucking clunky and fucking like a 12-year-old designed it and was like, let me join a party. It's like, bro, it's I don't know what it is on PS3. It's still my party, but I mean, Xbox had
the
aesthetic of it was
the aesthetic.
It's because it's got that fucking like sophisticated Japanese, manufacturing, and then Xbox is just fucking
Microsoft.
Yeah, God.
Bill Gates, dude. I bet Bill Gates plays PlayStation, dude. I bet he does. I swear to God, he plays PC though. But I bet he doesn't even fucking own a stupid Xbox. Things fucking suck. There's ads on the home screen. Did you know that?
On Xbox?
Yeah. Did you know that?
Ads for like games and shit?
Advertisements. Like random ads. No. Like
a vacuum or something? Oh my God.
Yeah.
That would be miserable.
It's probably relevant to Microsoft in some way, but anyways, dude. The thing that Xbox had going for it was that it had Halo. Let's see. It had Halo, which I can't discount.
Yeah, you had
one of the formative gaming experiences of my life.
Yeah, even me, who didn't have an Xbox, but going over to play split screen and then fucking grav hammers only, grav hammers and energy swords only.
Yeah, dude.
What's the announcer? The announcer was like, what was his thing? It was like, betrayal, betray. He said it twice, and I was like, why? That was
kill talkers. Double kill, triple, ultra kill.
Dude. I think, okay, speaking of classics, Halo split screen, and then I would say Zombies is also, I would say, at like you're talking like, a generation, of people that grew up on video games and share the lingo and share the experience of fucking, playing zombies or whatever. Zombies is. On what was the first map called? It was originally just a house. It was like an add-on to fucking World at War. They're just like, let's do this mode where it's like zombies. And then it became the main fucking thing.
Yeah.
I think it was, Kino was the, Kino.
Nacht der Untoten.
Yeah, Nacht.
The Night of the Undead.
Night. Yeah, Nacht. Yeah. And then what were the other ones? It was Kino was the movie theater.
Kino der Toten was the Theater of the Dead, which was the one that I played. I played that online with this kid. Fuck, what was his name? Sean Lucas. I went to elementary school with him, but we were friends on PlayStation 3.
Right.
We hung out like one time ever. But we would play Kino der Toten.
Yep.
And get to like 50 or 60, which is formidable, but I mean, The world record's like 200.
Well, so it was knocked, and then but there was a couple in between because there was an expansion
Kino was
for
Black
World at War.
Ops.
Kino was Black Ops, but then it was knocked. Doris, the factory.
I never played that.
Oh, I think it was a DLC. Yeah, me and my friend played that one a good amount.
Oh, Die Riese.
Yeah, okay.
The giant.
Yes, and that was the first one with the what do you fucking call it? The upgrade. You put it in and you pull the.
Oh, the Pack-a-Punch.
Pack-a-Punch, yes. And then I think all of the perks and shit and stuff. Dude, oh my god.
This looks like Black Ops, though.
Did you play 5? You played on Pentagon, right? When you're the presidents and shit?
Yeah.
That's the best. I think that's my favorite one. That's the best
Really?
one. Yes.
I never got too far in that one.
I mean, we always got fucked by the doctor or scientist at the end or whatever who, like, comes and steals your weapon and some shit. I don't think we ever got past that, but that was my favorite one for sure.
A Call of Duty
elevator.
game that came...
The elevator. Do you remember the elevator on 5? And then you would be like, "Oh, get in," and then you close the elevator before the other person they die. Yes. That's the best part.
Call of Duty World War II.
I thought isn't it World at War?
World at War was
the first World War II.
But Call of Duty World War II came out for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One.
Yeah, and dude, that was one. That was yes. That and I was telling you, I had like invested a bunch of money in Activision. I as soon as they had released whatever that one's called, World War II.
World War II.
Because all of the games, because remember how fucking I never played any of these, but it was like Infinite War, Advanced Warfare, Ghost War, and they all sucked. They all got worse and worse and worse. Like all of the trailers on YouTube have like 99% dislikes or whatever. So everyone on Wall Street was saying like the Call of Duty franchise is in decline. But then they said we're releasing World War II and we're going back to our roots and we're adding zombies, and it was like, these old men on Wall Street don't know jack fucking shit. Let me cash in. And then I bought it, and then it got all these pre-orders and shit. And then fucking Diablo came out, and they released it on fucking and then they fucked me on because they released it on mobile only, and it's like you absolutely.
So, you might not know this about me. I played.
Hold on, Ethan responded.
Okay.
He said
he did.
He's referring to a trophy I got on PS3. LMAO, no. Eric said you were #1 in the world in UFC 2008. Is this true? LMAO, no. He's referring to a trophy I got on PS3. Dude, there's no way he was #1 in the world on UFC. The only person the only person I know that was ever #1 in the world in any video game was Joe Casano. Right? Was Joe Casano, dude?
Yeah, dude.
Well,
in that fucking phone game. Spidey Legs, whatever it's called. God fucking damn it, dude.
God, glorious.
Dude, he was so good at Flappy Bird too.
Dude, Joe was good at whatever the fuck he did. Flappy Bird. What was the other app game? Doodle Jump and all that shit.
Doodle Jump. Dude, that game was my shit.
If anyone could do it, it'd be fucking Joe. And then he also won like an Xbox at like a fucking, the Brunswick Zone, like, 1 out of 1,000 chance. It's like, Joe wins it. It's like, there we go. That's right about
of course.
But
dude, remember when I won that? I won that. Wow, canceled. Sorry, I'm on the Call of Duty Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Canceled titles were there's 4. Call of Duty Combined Forces, Call of Duty Devil's Brigade, Call of Duty Vietnam, and Call of Duty Roman Wars.
Roman Wars?
Let's see what this is all about.
Is that like it's either... What is that?
Canceled third and first-person video game. Call of Duty franchise. The game was set in ancient Rome and allowed players to take control of famous historical figures like Julius Caesar, along with
So they were going to do a melee Call of Duty?
Along with officers of the 10th Legion. It was canceled.
Good.
Activision had uncertainties about branding as a Call of Duty title.
I do not like first-person melees. I think they're. I mean, like Skyrim, like RPGs are fine, but like, what's it called? Vermintide, Warhammer. Or
no.
They had a Lord of the Rings like Battlefront. Battlefront, obviously.
What? Yeah, of course.
They had like a Lord of the Rings version of it, and it was like, not good. Yeah.
There was that game that came out called For Honor. I think that's third person now.
Yeah. Well, you're right. I mean, like I would hate like a first person Call of Duty style melee where it's like multiplayer on different maps. It's like that wouldn't work. But yeah, I know For Honor is popular.
In Modern Warfare 2, I got really into. You ever watch that guy Only Use Me Blade?
Mm-mm.
He was a YouTuber, and yeah, he only knifed people. There are people like that, and it was a legitimate clap. It was a legitimate play style because there was the first perk slot there was Marathon Pro, and then there was Lightweight, which was faster movement speed, and then there was Commando, which was longer melee, like knife distance. And Commando Pro is no falling damage, but with Commando is the most overpowered perk in the game. Like you could just knife people from fucking so far away,
Right.
and so this dude would just like run around with like a revolver with a tactical knife and just only knife people and would get like 60 kills a game.
Did you ever did this guy stream? Did you ever watch streams? Did you ever get into streaming or like what? Like, do you watch people on Twitch and shit?
No, I watched a little bit, like over quarantine. I was watching like WoW streamers. I was watching I watched a little bit of Asmongold, but like he's a Trump supporter.
Oh, here we go. All right, turn it political. Okay, all right.
No, I'm not.
I know, I'm kidding. What was I gonna say? First off, shout out Mojo Gaming. Joe Gisler's doing his stream, so congrats.
Right now, is he really?
He might be doing it right now.
Oh my god.
But he did start
I'm
streaming.
gonna follow him on Twitch right now.
I gotta make a Twitch and actually follow him. And I'm gonna be on that every Thursday, I believe it is. It's we have Call of Duty for the boys set up, so we'll get some great content on.
Oh, he plays COD?
Yeah.
Does he play Modern Warfare or Black Ops?
Cold
War.
I don't know if he's transferred to Cold War yet. He might soon. But anyway, I was gonna say because I never got into Twitch streaming. But I did fucking what do you call it? Kriparian and YouTube highlights. You know?
Yeah. Oh, dude, I would watch fucking Hearthstone shit all the time.
Dude, I would watch Hearthstone more than play it, dude. Oh yeah, bro. Because then I'd play it and get mad and be like, "Fuck this! I'd rather go watch it now."
Dude, those are the golden days were when we were both really into Hearthstone. Yeah, that was like sophomore college.
Oh my
freshman junior year.
What was I gonna say? Then?
Anyway, sorry.
Hearthstone. I told you I have my Hearthstone account, right?
Yeah, dude, that sucks so much.
I had like literally like what was it like? How much dust did it cost to do a legendary? Was it like 1,600?
You had I think you were saying that you had like 3,000 dust.
How much is it? How much is it for a legendary? Because I could have crafted like
1,600 dust for.
Yeah, I could have crafted like 4 legendaries, and then they fucking stole it. They literally the only time I've ever been hacked in my entire life. Not my bank account, not my email, not anything of value. It was some Chinese fucking spam website that took my Hearthstone account. Because that was the most valuable thing I owned at the time.
Something weird about you, though, is that you only played Mage, right? Like
I only played Mage, dude. Because here's the thing, dude. You only have so much
you didn't
dust.
pay.
Right. Well, and I bought like the when they would have those crazy deals at the beginning of the year or whatever that you just like you had to buy like automatic 2 legendaries and all that. And it was like $5.
Yeah.
I put 60 hours in this game. I can pay him $5. I've spent $60 on games that I play like for 10 minutes, and I'm like, oh, this fucking was a mistake.
That game was a lot like chess in the sense that
I loved it. If I hadn't got my account stolen, I would have continued to go back to it.
Maybe I'll start playing again.
Dude.
It might honestly be better for me in terms of my lifestyle right now.
Well, and because because you can just you can play a couple, and then you're like you can just
and you're done. You back away.
It's not like
exactly.
Like fucking XCOM or whatever game. It's like that is one that you'll get into, and then you just play, or like Civ or something.
So what
like
is XCOM? Is it because
XCOM is I don't know. It's turn-based like tactical shooter that has really good. I say it's the highest production value game of all time in my opinion. Like it's I don't really know what that means, but it sounds cool. But it has RNG maps which are really good, and it has a big variety of enemies, and it has a really good upgrade system and all that. It does everything mechanically very well. The graphics are like not incredible, but they're the aesthetic that it gives off is a really solid. It just fits with the mechanics well. Because that's what we were that's what we were talking about in terms of like I personally don't give a fuck about graphics. The games that I've invested the longest in are not graphical heavy at all. And like Minecraft, I didn't play Minecraft, but like League and like Europa Universalis or Age of Empires and shit. Like those are not
Civ 6.
Yeah,
we gotta play Civ 6 soon, man.
Dude, okay, yes, I have been trying to get this fucking together for fucking months, dude. And yes, okay. Where's my notebook? Let me write this down. What was I gonna say?
You know who might like Civ 6 is Owen. But he doesn't really like video games.
I don't think.
But it's not a traditional video game. Really.
It's a board game. Civ is Catan.
He doesn't fucking like board games. Dude.
Oh, really? Owen doesn't actually.
Dude, the other night, man, me, Jack, and Matt had a Risk game. We played Risk, and we started at 8:30 and played until 3:30, and then the next day played from 11 to 2, and then but it wasn't over by any means. I was ahead. Jack thinks that he would have won, but I would have won. But he resigned because he was tired. Like, okay. Anyway, sorry.
Well, I was gonna say, Civ is like Catan, except on a fucking computer, because Catan is those hexagonal spaces. Right, and it's a random it's random, territory generated each time or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, I love Civ. Oh my god, Civ is dude. Yes, we're gonna get a Civ fucking. We gotta get some games. It's not a LAN party, but dude, I'm telling you, and we can literally save. We can play. We can play we'll say, hey, we'll play for 3 hours, and then we'll just save and quit and come back to it. And, right. And it's like, anyway. What were we talking about before that? Graphic heavy. Oh,
you were talking about
mechanics. Yeah, I don't get. And this is the thing about.
We diverge on this point though.
Yeah, well, but it's like people like did you see the what was it called? It was that like next gen graphics YouTube clip where it was this girl going through like a cave, and it was like the Unreal Engine 4 or like 5 or whatever fucking Unreal Engine.
The Hyperreal.
Yeah. And it had like all this crazy like the light was like glinting off every little rock and all that shit. It's like that's cool, but that is not what keeps people in video games. Like people think, oh, well, the graphics are going to get indistinguishable from reality. It's like, well, until the mechanics are indistinguishable from reality, which, it'll never be. But, like...
See, but that's where VR... That's what VR is, right?
Like, VR is just the graphic side of things. It's like, dude, you're more likely to just get sick because it's not that fun,
But it's not, though. It's mechanically...
Well, I haven't played any of the newest VR stuff. I've only done the limited... So I don't know how good it is now, but
so Matt brought home this bullshit shooter, for the PSVR, and we put it on, and you're in there, and you're like looking around, and there's a world like you're actually immersed, and it's like graphically it's impressive,
pretty good,
convincing, and you're holding a gun, and you can like look at it, and it's like teaching you how to reload or like use the gun. It's like point the gun and shoot it. You're like, okay, whatever, cool. And then it's like, now grab a clip from your vest. And you're like, what? You look down and you're having this fucking vest on, like grenades, and you have to like pull a clip out of the slot and load it into the gun.
Yeah, okay, but that mechanic, I'm sure would get old very quickly. You know what I mean? Like if that was the whole
you can't fucking reload. Yeah.
Because
totally.
Because like if you think
it's too hard.
Well, because did you play Witcher or Dark Souls?
I played The Witcher 3 for a while.
Yeah, so like that has or like any of the fucking those kind of like like Batman Arkham Asylum or like that combat mechanic like Assassin's Creed.
Easy.
Yeah, it's smooth. It's like it's fun. Like that has a great like combat mechanic. Like I think The Witcher 3 and Dark Souls. I never played Dark Souls, but I played Witcher 3. It's like
that kind of dodge roll.
Yeah, but each enemy has its own unique animation sequence, so you still have to like time it, and you're still kind of like there's an element of challenge to it, which so the novelty is not like, oh look, I'm gonna look down and grab my vest and put it. It's like that's gonna get the novelty is you get new enemies all the time. You know what I mean? So it's like and that's what I'm saying.
I just think we're dating ourselves a little bit. I mean, because that's
great.
Probably boring to kids that our 15.
Yeah, well,
you know?
dude,
I don't know. I think in terms of video games, we definitely grew up in a golden age of video games. I think that in terms of computation limits and the limits of graphics and just that online gaming was just kind of coming into the forefront. I mean, in a popular way. I mean, World of Warcraft had been around since 2004, and so did Diablo 2, which was also online.
And those were PC first, right? Like
PC
because
games,
it wasn't
right.
until PS3 and Xbox did the console take,
which was like Wi-Fi. I mean, I think one of the biggest reasons why multiplayer games exploded in like 2006, probably 2007 or 8, was because of Wi-Fi and because of the fact that I didn't have to hook my PlayStation. Dude, I remember I was telling this anecdote to like my roommates the other day when like I remember being home alone and I found this. I was just like dicking around at the house or whatever, and I found this long ass Ethernet cord, just bundled, like huge, wrapped up, like with a fucking thing. I'm like, oh, this is what you can plug into the PlayStation 2, and I unwrap it and I hook up my PlayStation 2 to the modem upstairs, and I like a living room all throughout my house, up the stairs into the office, and like plug it into the modem. And I played Battlefront 2 online on my PlayStation 2,
dude,
which was tight. It was too hard. People were too good at it.
Too hard. I think Battlefront is, one of the, I would say, pinnacle generational games. Truly, you know, because it was Star Wars. It was Star Wars, right? So you have that whole entire, culture that you can just immediately draw in, and then it had great space battles in Battlefront 2.
Oh my god, man!
Dude, I never played. I never played on.
That was groundbreaking, dude.
I never played.
Well, you didn't have to. It was bullshit. You didn't. It was.
People were too fucking good.
Yeah, it was like. I remember being in. I forgot what map. It was the map where you're like on the ship that's in the opening shot to episode 4. It's like that map.
To episode
4, the first Star Wars movie. Yeah. It opens. It's R2D2 and C3PO, and they're on that ship, and it's being invaded by the Empire.
Yeah.
It's like it's just a transport.
Blockade runner. Yeah.
And it's that map I think was in Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
But
yeah, when you
I remember being in that map.
When you can hop on the transport and then fly in the other person's hangar and then spawn off that transport.
Yeah,
that
dude.
That was the key. Sure. That was the boarding party strategy. Space Marine or Pilot. Those are the only 2 classes in online space battles. Space Marine or Pilot. Pilot had the pistol, but it had the better bombs, right?
Yeah.
So when you could go in and throw the bombs on the fucking shield generator and shit. That was so cool. That was well done. That was a great mechanically oriented game there, where it was like you had the hard points, game, man. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, the hard points, dude. Hard point. Hard point's a new
COD mode, right?
COD mode, yeah. Hard point. Hold the hard.
Listen, should we?
Dude, hard point's pretty tight, man.
I mean, here's the thing. I like Warzone. It's I do like the. Did you ever play Warzone?
I got hyper into Modern Warfare over quarantine. Me and Matt, my roommate.
What?
I was in my house in Naperville, and he was in the city, and we would party up, and we would get on the mics, and we would play for all night. We would play all night. And
which one? The Warzone, or is it the new?
No, Modern Warfare is before. It was before Warzone came out. We played it on release night, and I got super into that game.
I thought Modern Warfare was the engine that Warzone runs on.
It is. Modern Warfare came out before
and then Warzone came out, and because Warzone was the free version that came out after. Okay,
exactly.
So did you never got into Warzone?
I got super into Warzone because when me and Matt were probably in the peak of our performance or whatever. I mean, like any COD game, you get on after playing for not playing for like 2 years, and then you play. You're like, what the? I fucking suck, and then you play a couple matches. You're like, okay, and then you get a little bit better. But we were at the peak. We were easily going like 30-5, averaging just top of the leaderboard every time, basically.
Damn.
And Yeah, then we started playing Warzone, and then we would do 2s in Warzone, and then they had 3s, but yeah, when we were doing 2s in Warzone, we won probably 4 or 5 times, but Warzone's fun, man.
I love the survival aspect of it. That's because there's way more strategy involved. It's like, what are we gonna do? Let's camp out. Let's go up to that ridge. We'll camp out for a little bit. We'll gatekeep as the storm pushes them in.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly, dude.
What was your go-to gun? I was Ram 7 with the extended barrel and then a riot shield. Oh yeah, great all-around
with
gun.
With riot shield?
Yes. Dude, people look. People think they're fucking good at COD and they're not. Okay, the Ram 7. Ram 7.
Dude.
Ram 7 extended barrel and then hybrid sight holographic, so you get 4x 4 times zoom with a riot shield. Short, medium, and you have great long-range capacity. Yeah, you don't have a sniper. You don't have fucking, cross-the-map capabilities. But it's like, dude, for the purposes of Warzone, best class in the game. And look, I understand it's people's opinions, but as an objective fact, mathematically.
I really liked, here. Oh, this is Modern Warfare 1.
I played a decent amount. I think Modern Warfare 1 was the only game that
arguably the best COD. Ethan thinks
I played that multiplayer. I was the only COD I've ever prestiged on. I've never played enough multiplayer.
Oh, really?
On any other COD to do that.
Yeah, Modern Warfare 2 is I was 10th prestige legit in Modern Warfare 2.
Dude, whatever happened to the campaigns? Do you remember when people played? Remember when people played video games for the campaigns and not the multiplayer?
Dude, the Modern Warfare campaign's pretty good.
The new one, right?
The newest, Cold War is the Black Ops one, but
yeah, you're right.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the campaign is actually pretty alright.
I think a couple.
It's like real acting, and stuff. So
yeah. The storyline though with the original Modern Warfare, Captain Price, Gaz, Imran Zakhaev, Al Assad.
Dude, Ghost is in this new one.
Ghost is just Gaz, isn't it? It's the same voice actor, I'm pretty sure.
I think so, man. I'm actually not sure.
Gaz gets shot in the head by Imran Zakhaev at the end with the one-handed guy. Do you remember that last mission in COD?
No.
Oh,
I didn't play Modern Warfare.
Hey, okay, I got a question for you. Do you remember the terrorist mission in COD where you play as the terrorist?
Modern Warfare 2?
Yeah, and you open the elevator.
I'll never fucking forget that shit.
How did that make you feel when you played it, honestly? Because here's how I felt. I don't know, I forgot how old I was. But I remember playing it, and I think we were at a friend's place, or I was at a friend's place or something, and then the elevator door opens, you go step out, and you just start unloading in all these civilians. It was like, I was like, yo, this is like, I got like a weird feeling. It made me feel sick, that mission. And it said like, it literally gave you an option, like, you can skip this mission.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about it?
I mean, I don't know how I felt about it. I remember playing it. I think I was alone, and I remember bringing my mom down in the basement to convince her that like it would be cool if I like got this game, because my homie Thomas was playing it, and he was playing online and shit. I would like go over to his house and play. Shit, this is so sick. And then I was like, Mom, like, I'm fucking however old, I'm 15. Like, I can play this game.
I think we were younger than that.
I don't know.
I think it was like
earlier.
PS3.
No, it was junior high. It was junior high because I remember 12 or 13. Yeah. I remember talking to Harrison Beard and Nick Rafaz at Washington about Modern Warfare 2 because it had just come out, and they were like, "I love this map. I love this map." I'm like, yeah, for sure. It was so sick. But yeah, in terms of that mission, like.
So you were trying to convince your mom that this was a cool game to play, and you're like, "Mom, check this."
And then she convinced.
Did she?
She let me get it. I downloaded it,
yeah.
Or maybe I had it on disc. I must have had it on disc.
Yeah.
But yeah, super fucked up, man. I don't know. Also, I don't know.
Well, here's the thing, because the fucking argument of video games cause violence and shit. It's like, well, first off, there's no evidence for that, and that's just bullshit. And it's like, any more so than movies cause violence.
Right.
But and now I don't. And now what video games have I played? Like like fucking Fallout. You're like decapitating people with chainsaws and shit, like innocent civilian. So it's like we've grown to it. But I just remember that scene. There was just something about it that was just like, that was like, I don't know. I don't have an opinion on whether or not it's should be there or something like that. I remember not.
I'm half and half on that point though. Like,
it's pretty fucking. It was pretty fucking crazy.
I feel
when at the end he shoots you and then he's like, now that they'll find that body, now we're gonna start a war.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, bro. What the fuck was the point of this whole thing?
Yeah, dude.
Oh my god.
I just feel like when I was playing Call of Duty over quarantine, and when I was playing Call of Duty in high school, I would have nightmares, and I would have, just like when you play a video game for a long time, you can like see it.
Yes. Oh yeah. If I play Civ for 10 hours before going to bed, I cannot fall asleep without thinking of like
you see it's just hexagon
tiles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like if you play Call of Duty and you're not actually virtually murdering people because you're holding a controller.
Right. And they're not people, they're images.
And and they're pictures.
Yeah.
But the pictures are representative of people, of the
Yes.
enemy army, the enemies and stuff. And so if you do that and you have that kind of reaction to it, like I had nightmares about like just noob tubing into a group of people, or grenade launching in a group, or whatever.
That sentence, bro. I had nightmares.
How did you dream about that,
Sure.
As if whatever I was, 14, 15, that's not mellow to me, I mean, I wouldn't let it it's stupid. It all boils down to what you would let your kid do, which is like a completely vapid, like hypothetical, because I don't have a fucking kid. I don't know what I would. But on the other hand, it's like, I know that shit. I don't know though, man, because I don't know. It's hard for me to imagine that like playing Call of Duty, someone who plays Call of Duty every night is psychically the same as somebody who doesn't play Call of Duty.
Sure. Well, and I mean, like, I think it's like, humans have aggressive impulses anyway, competitive impulses, and like you talk about like COD Online, like you're shooting people, but it's like, dude, you're aiming at a target. Like that's what fucking shooting a basketball is. Like you're putting a fucking ball through a hoop. You're aiming at a target.
It's abstracted.
It's just one level of abstraction further. Even then, like a fucking NBA basketball game in video game format. It's just the next level.
Sure.
So it's like, and it's like. There is an aspect of like video games are a piece of art, especially like the RPG ones, the storytelling ones. It's like when you include all those elements of like violence and then death and human betrayal and all that shit. It's like those are
The Last of Us 2.
real elements.
I finished playing The Last of Us 2, and it's like that game is brutal.
I never played that, but I know that's like an all time, like it's the island survival one, right?
No, The Last of Us 2 is made by Naughty. The Last of Us series, I guess now, because there's 3 games. No, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. No, I'm thinking of Uncharted. Sorry, I'm a dumbass.
Yeah,
there's
Uncharted
two of The Last of Us games, and there's 6 Uncharted games. But that's all Naughty Dog. But they're all really violent, and they're all emotionally challenging. So in a context like that, where like I'm already emotionally confused about this character, I have to shoot him in the head or something, that seems more damaging in a way than COD.
Sure.
But I would say that The Last of Us series is way more valuable than the COD series culturally,
Well,
in terms of a work of art.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily damaging per se, because like, it's drawing you in emotionally. Dude, for me, the Assassin's Creed series, whatever Ezio is, Assassin's Creed 2 through, I think it's Revelations is the last time you play Ezio. I played 2 and then all of the ones up through Revelations. That last scene in Revelations, because you put fucking 40, 50 hours into that storyline, right? And you play it all,
right,
whatever. in the last scene, it's like, and you know, because like, and then the storyline. You've played them, right? You've played the Assassin's Creed.
I didn't play. I played maybe half of Revelation, but I played 2 and Brother. I played 1, 2, and Brother.
Okay, and you know the storyline with like the gods that like talk to you, like you're in the Animus, but then the gods are talking to the person in the Animus, not the actual.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's crazy. I love that storyline. And then in Revelations, the last like part of it was kind of like wrapping that up. There was like, and then something I forget what the exact ending was, because then Assassin's Creed 3, and then they had 9 more games after that. I'm like, oh, they just said fuck the story at that point. We just want to make more games. It was like, okay, a story without an end is not a story, so he kind of fucked it up, but whatever.
Totally. Yeah.
But that Revelation, I remember being in the basement because we got it for Christmas, and it was like 3 days after, and I played and finished the game. I was just like, finished the game. The credits were up there, and I was just like, damn, bro, I'm like emotionally like empty, dude. It's like I had invested so much in these characters in this storyline for like 50 hours or whatever, and it died or whatever. It's like, dude, those are real fucking pieces of art, you know, just as much as a movie or a book or whatever.
Dude, The Last of Us 2, which I just finished here. I played it here because it came out a few months ago or something like that. It was delayed. The development of the game was delayed because of COVID. And the game's about a virus. It's a zombie apocalypse game, but it's about a virus that turns people into, you know, really obscene creatures and stuff. And there's like a takeover. It's a survival sort of horror zombie game. But really emotionally complex and gorgeous. Just a gorgeous game. And, you know, I mean, when you were making the point about like graphics, you didn't say that graphics don't matter, but graphics are
less important.
The graphics should serve the role of the mechanic.
Yes,
they should be they should be complementary to mechanic. And The Last of Us 2 is great mechanics. You know, it's a really smooth game, really heavy game. Like, well, The Last of Us 1, you couldn't jump, but in The Last of Us 2, you can jump around, and it kind of feels more action
dynamic. Yeah,
but yeah, just like in terms of the console conversation too, I mean, there has never been a more cinematically successful game than the Uncharted and Last of Us series, and the God of War series.
Sure.
But in a different way. Like Uncharted is just it's just my favorite series, just period. Uncharted? It's just such good storytelling.
With
and
is it Drake or Nathaniel Drake or?
Yeah, Nathan Drake.
Nathan Drake. Yeah. I played one. There's 6 Uncharted games.
There's Uncharted 1, 2, 3.
I know. I played 1, 2, and 3. I think 1 was great.
Yeah.
It was the only game I've ever beat on the highest difficulty. I'm pretty.
You liked Uncharted 1?
The first Uncharted on brutal was the highest difficulty. Again, the last boss was Navarro on that ship. Right when
dude, that's funny because I never played that one. I never played it because everyone told me it was shit.
Oh my god, it was the only good one. I thought 2 and 3 sucked, to be honest. With the blue with the blue gorillas or whatever. What the fuck was that, dude? The first one was the first one had like actual like scary zombies and shit. Like it was like, holy fuck, bro. This is kind of like. It was scary, and then the
Uncharted
fucking blue gorillas in 2 or 3 were just fucking ass, bro.
That's so funny, man. That's like, I think Uncharted 1 is considered to be like the worst Uncharted.
Oh, okay. Well, by fucking absolute gimps, dude.
What's Fortune out there?
What was I gonna say? We are coming. Hey, by the way, we're coming up on. Well, I don't really know when actually. Recording.
We start.
It says,
cool.
It says hour 25. Well, I was going to say, do you want to talk about like some mental health related stuff with video games, like about a video game addiction and all that shit, or, you know, good and bad, because that's kind of what, you know, one of the main, like this serves as a good foil to go into that, because like, would you say that you were ever addicted? Because I definitely was addicted to video games from this. I mean, I habitually played them ever since I was young, but then I would say in high school, like in League in particular, it was coming home and it was like my mind was habitualized to, I'm going up and I'm playing League.
I don't know. I think you better start because I don't think I was ever addicted to. If I was addicted to a video game, it would be World of Warcraft.
Sure. Well, and again, addiction is like, Gabor Mate is like, well, addiction's a spectrum, and there's many different things to be addicted to. I don't know. I see, like, because the leveling up mechanic, the idea of always progressing towards something and having something to progress towards, it's like that is so, it's such a serotonin, dopaminergic feeder or whatever. And, well, and this is what I'm interested in, because I think there's, like, dude, and I mean this, we were talking this earlier, it's like the life lessons that I've learned, the lessons about people that I have learned from playing League, right? Because League is a competitive game, you're playing with strangers, people, you can chat, people get upset, people, like, a game is minimum 20 minutes, it can go up to, like, 40 minutes, so people, like, they're playing, they're invested. The amount of times, dude, that you just, you will just watch, and I told you, like, my teammates would fucking rage and be like, all right, dude, you didn't warn, like, that's your fucking fault. But then, like, even just strangers, it's like, dude, you watch people just objectively make a stupid fucking play, right? Like, objectively fuck up. But then they're so quick to blame anyone else. A million other things. Well, our bot lane is sucking, so I had to go top. Like, it's like, no, you fucking didn't, dude. And it's like, so just like the amount, like learning how easy it is to fucking project, and say, oh, this isn't my fault, even though, like, and and there's it's a difficult line to draw, because you're like, dude, you could do really well, it's like you could play, you go 12-1 or some shit and you still lose, and you barely lose. It's like, well, my team sucks. It's like, okay, dude, well, if you're playing pickup basketball and you're a fucking good and like an NBA player does not lose a pickup basketball game. Like, someone who's really good doesn't lose. Well, it's like, oh, well, I did pretty good, and if my team just was scored one more point, it would have been better. It's like, well, that's your fault for not being better. It's like, that's the only mindset you should ever have. And, like, I think in part learned to adopt that mindset from playing League, and I think that's one of the benefits of it. Now, the downsides is I spent how many fucking 100 days plus over 6 years.
Yeah.
Right, which, again, it's like, we watch so much Netflix and we're on our phones all the time. It's like, it's, and I was doing that instead of that. So it's like, I don't know. I don't regret playing as much video games as I did. I mean, I regret not doing other things, but I don't necessarily think that video games stopped me from doing that. And, like, also, dude, the friend, like, like Andrew Pateris and fucking Kerry Schwetner and them, like, I play fucking League, or we used to play League. That was my League team. And then we still play. It's like, dude, those are whole friendships that have lasted longer than, since,
decades.
Since high school. Yeah, and it's like...
And Kerry Schwedner, all-star cross-country runner, successful fucking guy. And we, y'all finished college and have good jobs and are sustaining yourselves. It's like...
Right. I think, dude, like, and I don't know. We're just talking on our opinions or whatever. It's like, there are definitely people that fucking are cripplingly addicted.
Sure, dude. Like that dude who played Diablo 3 for like 3 days and then stood up and had a heart attack and died. Like,
is that a real thing? Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and dude, and this is another thing too, is like the streaming thing. Like, there's an element of, like, dude, you're playing video games and then you're going and watching someone play video games, and then it's like you're reading about the video games. It's like, that becomes your entire world,
Right.
And I don't think, like, I never got to that point. But definitely it was the thing that, and plus, like, I'd come home and my fucking, family was fucking not ideal all the time. So I would fucking go up into my room and close my door and just fucking play video games, and it was like that, and that was valuable, and
you fucking finally focus on something.
Right. And it was, and to watch yourself progress, like, you learn how to take responsibility for your own actions. It's like, dude, I lost this game. It's like, well, whose fault is it? Well, my team. It's like, no, it's fucking not, because I can't control that, right? So it's like, and if you're really good, you would be good enough where you wouldn't have to rely on them, right? Until you get to the highest levels. In which case, then I lost interest at that point, because it was exactly that problem. It was like, once I got to kind of like platinum, that level, it was like, okay, now it really is like, if my team's not good, I can't win. And so
Yeah.
this gets too toxic at that point. But
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, we grew up playing different games, you know.
Yeah.
So with you growing up playing mostly strategy based role playing games, I grew up playing, you know, shooters mostly,
right.
mostly Call of Duty when I was young, you know, and then getting into games like I was really into Metal Gear Solid 3
Okay.
for a little while, like when I was little, and I would play sports games with my dad, like Madden and stuff.
Sure.
But like when I got into, I was playing World of Warcraft,
Right. And WoW is your biggest
and
game.
when you're talking about raiding, you're mostly talking about getting together with 9 other people to do a puzzle, and there's not really a competitive there's not really a competitive aspect until you get to the professional,
Sure.
where there are like these teams like Cloud9 and Method and Liquid are all competing to get world first on the newest raid, right? Like, do you hear about what happened to the Method guild? There was like a ton of sexual assault allegations, and like the guild disbanded. And then there was this other guild called Limit, and they got world first, I think, which is crazy. But anyway, yeah. So I mean, just mostly growing up playing single player games, and honestly, I consider Call of Duty to be a single player game because you're not working together. If you're playing team deathmatch, you're not working together to like.
I see what you're saying. Sure.
Wait.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're just in your own element. Yeah.
So I played really video games alone my whole life, and played with my dad though. But like, me and my dad would take turns playing because WoW is a single player game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's an MMO, but it's like, and you're in a guild and you're talking to your guild, but it's like you're doing your own thing for the most part, unless you're playing PvP, which I never played. So I don't know, man. It's just different. Like I definitely use video games as a way to escape, which is not entirely a bad thing. I think escapism, whatever that means, I think can be lumped into video games quite easily. But
sure, and like, you know, it's like you could do heroin or you could do video games. It's like heroin is escapism or crazy drugs are escapism. It's like, well, but video games have that structured element that actually teaches you something, you know. And then plus,
sure.
And this is something I wanted to bring up too, is because when my little brother was in Iraq, me and my older brother, we hopped on and played some video games, like, you know, for a couple hours or whatever, a couple times. And it was like, dude, that's fucking cool. You know, that's actually like, there's a lot of value there. And it's like, oh, people just dismiss. It's like, oh, you're just all doing this shit or whatever. It's like, when you're playing with like that, like, and you with your dad, because you played, right? He was on. Was he on? Did you play the same character, or was he on your guild?
Well, no. I mean, when I was in high school, we would play together online.
Yeah.
All the time.
Right, and it's like,
and we still do sometimes.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, and it's like, you know, people think the relationships you foster on video games are not as valuable or as valid, and it's like, that's not been my experience at all. It's like, I like the amount of times I've just been dying laughing on like the voice chats, or like something happens in the video game, you know what I mean? And it's like
all the time.
And you know, I think, and this is another thing, you know, we're talking about the fucking, you know, kids these days or whatever. It's like, I actually think about, like, is it that much worse, or like how less valuable or real is a friendship that is developed online through common activity than it is someone that you kind of just randomly meet in person or whatever? It's like,
yeah,
you know, I you know, there's a big part of me that thinks that it's really bad if we get to a point in the future where everyone can just go into their VR set and live in this VR world, and they have their basic needs taken care of, and it's like, to me, that's like a dystopia. But then I think, like, okay, well, you know, we might not ever get there, but if people, you know, primarily, you know, like we're fucking talking now and having fun or whatever, it's like,
right.
There's definitely a real aspect of, like, when you're not with actual people, you're missing out on, like, you know, some whatever basic, like, evolutionary shit that you're wired to be, like, in the same room with or whatever, you know. But as long as you can still get that, or, you know, And maybe it's like maybe people meet online or they develop their friendships online with kids or whatever playing games, and then they go meet afterwards, and that's how they build their friendships up afterwards. You know, it's like
yeah.
I don't know, right? And I think because
Right.
you know, in the future, it's like, dude, who the fuck knows how far we've come from 10 years? Who the fuck knows where we're going 10 years? It's like 10 years from now. It's like, bro, I don't really know how to think about it.
Yeah.
But I don't, and I'm in the mindset of like, dude, it could be bad in terms of like, you just get your universal basic income, food, you know, you get your fucking whatever, the virtual porn or whatever in your VR headset, and then it's like every basic evolution needs been taken care of. You could just live in that forever. It's like that's scary.
Yeah.
So we need to find a balance or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What do you think about that and where shit's going and stuff?
It's hard to say, man. I mean, I know what makes me feel, which is not playing too many not playing video games for too long, and making sure that I read every day, and making sure that I can stretch when I feel like I need to, and just not feeling too so absorbed in like a virtual existence. And like I'm not on I'm on Snapchat, but I'm not on Reddit or Instagram anymore, and I deleted my Facebook a while ago. But I'm like, it's weird though, because I'm starting to feel like it's not necessarily the social media that's the problem, it's actually the device. Because even when I'll delete my Snapchat periodically and not have any social media on my phone, period, and still find myself like taking a shit like on my phone, just staring at my home screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm saying.
Like, why can't I just take a shit and take a fucking shit? Like,
dude, I'll be waiting in the store and I'll have like I'm on the escalator and I pull up my phone. Literally today, I literally thought to myself, why did I just feel the need to do that? You know, it's like I'm so habituated.
It's not a need. It's a habit.
Yeah.
It's just a habit. And
right.
the more things that we have, the more things that we involve ourselves with that make us feel like we have to check it, the more we're going to be on it. And there's not necessarily anything wrong with looking at your telephone, but there's also nothing necessarily wrong with not looking at it at all. And in fact, if we're going to take these, because like, look, when you're involved in this, loosely involved in this debate and just kind of like chatting back and forth with your friend, that's one thing. But like, if we're gonna take the studies seriously, that try the studies that I don't think prove anything necessarily definitive yet, but are trying to understand the relationship between depression, body dysmorphia, gender dysmorphia, social anxiety, the relationship between these things, these neuroses, if that's the right term, and social media usage and phone addiction and phone habituation. The relationship between these things just is proven to be immense, not necessarily causal, but there's just so much there. And it's like, if you take that seriously, then you say to yourself, maybe there is a difference. There is a real difference between deciding, no, I'm just going to go up this escalator and like look around at the world, maybe catch some eye contact with somebody or something like that, or not, or just stare at my fucking feet, and stay like just chill in the grocery store, not look at my fucking phone. And like, there's something about that. There's something about like, I don't know, these buzzwords, like staying present, or like,
I was just gonna say that, being present in the moment,
like world, like being in the world and not withdrawing from the world. But like the phone's the world too, social media is the world too. It's not like there's a world and then a part of the world that's also not the world.
Yeah, but it's a very filtered and distorted slice of it. Your Twitter feed, your social media feed is manufactured, it's conditioned, it's so algorithm influenced, and I
think too, like, if we are going to take, like, I do think that we lived through the golden age of video games, but I also think that we lived through the golden age of social media, which was I date it precisely. The end of the golden age of social media is precisely when, in my view, when Facebook started sorting your feed by relevance
Instead of
and
time.
not by chronology,
Yeah.
not by time. I'm not getting, my feed isn't like Paul posted a status and then Ethan posted a status, and I can see how, and that was fun because like
I prefer that, and
you
I set my Twitter to
statuses
that.
like,
yeah,
you know what I mean. So, and then suddenly you're just getting a manufactured product instead of a timekeeping.
right. Instead of what's actually going on and whatever, and seeing different perspectives. Dude, on my Facebook, literally 66%, 2/3 of all the posts I see, maybe 50% if I'm being conservative, are Tremel Moore memes, which are fucking hilarious, and I like half of them. Yeah, he has the best memes, and I probably bring that onto myself that it's all on my timeline because I keep liking them.
Unlikely meme lord.
And then like 2 other people, and it's just like, that's a problem. That is a catered view. That is, and here's the thing. It's like, you know, because we're comparing video games or whatever. It's like, you know, video game, you have your parameterized world, and you know the parameters surrounding it. You know it's virtual. You know there's an artistic element to it, and you engage in it, whatever. Social media, though, is then it's like, okay, this is kind of the real world. We're going to put as much parameters and fake bullshit around it, and we're going to feed it to you the same way we would feed you a video game. But we're going to present it to you as if it's the real world, you know? And it's like, well, it partly is, because people are posting their real thoughts or whatever, but then it's like, you know, like you're saying, it's not chronological. It's given to you what you want to hear or what will make you engage with it or whatever. And it's just like,
that's the one thing and we were having a conversation about this the other night at the house. Like, I think there's a difference. Like, we were talking about something about how like the difference between Facebook and Reddit is important or Instagram is important because on Reddit, and Reddit's changed in the past even 2 years in a huge way, in the way that we're talking about, which is precisely the problem. But like, I'm given subreddits to follow, but those subreddits are not, and you can sort by hot, which is like and it's like trending posts, but that subreddit is composed of people who want to be there. You can opt out of a subreddit or not. You can join it or not, and remove yourself from a community that is in itself self-sufficient, like a community that is talking about its own subject and it's producing its own content.
There's no personal association with the account. It's just like it's anonymous, and so you're only judged on the merits of what's being said. So it's a more utilitarian.
You post, right?
Yeah.
So that's important because I'm not being basically. I'm not being force-fed content. I'm not being force-fed shit that the platform knows that I'll like and that knows that it'll draw me into using its platform. Like with Instagram, you know, I'm given posts that statistically or algorithmically I'm the most likely to be interested in and spend more time. Everything is measured. You know what I mean? Especially in terms of Instagram. Everything is measured. The amount of time I spend on a particular post looking at it, the amount of time that I scroll for, what I search for, what I look at in my Explore.
It is creepy as fuck if you think about it. Like every little.
And like when you're at that point, it's like it's just so far from what we grew up knowing, and it seems the same and it feels the same, but it's so far from the same. And I think precisely because like if Instagram was the way it was before, and I'm not even like, and people make fun of me and say, oh, well, you're just saying like before, back in the day, it was way better. But emotionally, psychologically, like if I'm just able to open a platform and understand exactly what I'm being shown, which is that, okay, I follow Tremel Moore and he posted 2 minutes ago. I'm going to see his post first. And if Owen posted 45 minutes ago, I'm going to have to scroll through a little bit and find it.
Yes.
Like that's also like invoking some kind of like urge to scroll through my shit, but I can also finish and be done and see everything that was posted today. You know what I mean? It's like more like the newspaper or something like that. Instead of like this endless stream of advertisements and information that I can just spend all fucking day.
Yeah, it's engineered to suck you in, bro. And TikTok, have you ever downloaded TikTok?
No, fuck TikTok.
Dude,
fuck TikTok.
I didn't.
Jack's all about TikTok.
Bro,
dude.
I didn't download it for a while. Downloaded it. 3 hours, like that, dude, like that. I mean, 60
no, dude, that's what Jack says,
videos,
man.
Dude. I'm sitting on my couch, feet up on the, and it's like fucking 2 hours later. It's like, dude, what? Are you fucking joking? And like, I can remember like 5 or 6 that are like funny, you know. And it's like, what has that?
I won't do it, man.
Yeah, good. Don't.
It's like the tool, man.
I deleted it. I deleted it a while ago. I'm not bringing it back because it's just like.
I'll never fucking buy a fucking Juul. I'll never fucking
Oh wow,
download
nicotine. Hold on.
It's not the same.
Look,
but
I can handle a physiological addiction, but once it gets to social media, then it becomes a problem.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It's just different.
Did you have any final things you want to talk about, or final thoughts, or anything in particular?
Probably not. I covered a lot of what I wanted to say. I mean, we talked a lot.
Yeah.
So, but I really enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah,
man.
this was fun. This was fun, dude. And just like fucking going at it, you know, like that's the best part of it. And then
yeah, I think like we covered a lot about I don't know, just that time that I fucking torched the bull in the field by Ethan's house, and I got way too high, and that we had to like walk back and you drive me home, and like I was like totally tweaking, but you were like, dude, so like what deck are you playing at Hearthstone, right? You know, and like totally brought me back like to real life, you know, well, real life in quotes, but like it's just like totally pleasing to talk about video games, and I guess like primarily just to talk about things that you're interested in, but also like it's just such a new art form, and it's
rapidly changing.
It's rapidly changing, and I think that we live through a renaissance that is certainly no longer in play. Like I think video games are in a kind of stasis because, you know, they're just becoming way more corporate, and they're becoming way more, I don't know, the whole shit with EA and how EA ruins every game that they ever can. It's like, it's hard. So I just think it's good to talk about it and keep our finger on, you know, something that we grew up loving and that we continue to love, and something that's changing in ways that on one hand are super good, and in another way are super shitty and frustrating. But yeah.
Thank you everyone for watching. If you enjoyed this, please let me know. Send me a message. I'm trying to get better with this channel and make more good content. So appreciate your thoughts. Appreciate you watching. Thank you again.